What is up, y'all? This is Alex from Alex PC Tech again, back at you with another video. And today, I just want to share with you our Neon Genesis Evangelion case mod. This is the concept and the decal making, guys. So what I did was I made the decals on Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so you can do this on other softwares that you prefer. But first is I want to share with you what I did. So what I did first is I thought about the color palette that I'll be using on the case. So one is purple, one is neon green, and the black is like the motherboard. This is like the inside of the case, how it will look like. So this is the motherboard. I've just put a black on it, and then after that I designed this one. This is the top cover of the 760T, that as that one is removable. So this is the text that I wanted to put there on the top side of the case, and I want to put other decals like these on the side. Okay, so in case you are wondering where this design was or where did I get this, it is from the anime itself. So for example, I wanted to emulate something like this on the case, so that's why I've put this Evangelion test type 01 here on the top. And for the front side, okay, so I've given this a lot of thought. I want this to be neon green, the grills, and with the text EVA and 01. Initially, I went with this military themed, but I've decided to use this font instead for the Evangelion and 01. So in case you're wondering, this is not a font design, this one. I replicated this from Shinji's suit. So here as you can see, there's a 01 on his chest. So this is the type 1 font that we'll be putting on the front. So after this one, what else? So this design is from here. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna go with neon green, white, or red for this one. So aside from that, front decals, Shinji, and this one I want to recreate this one. However, I'm not sure yet where I'm gonna put this on the case, so stay tuned for that one. Aside from this one, this one we're gonna print a Nerve logo and we're gonna stick it somewhere on the case. Also for the 01 or the 01 sticker, I'm not sure yet, but this is what I have so far. So this is like the lookbook for this theme mod that we're gonna make. And also I want to share with you the concept for the cables. Okay, so this is the color palette as well that we did. So we have the black connector. So in case you're wondering where I got this, I ordered this from AliExpress. So there's one guy who customizes the color combinations of the wires. So on AliExpress, this is the store for the guy, and his products are like these keyboard USB cables, power supply cables. So we have this power supply cables. The one that I particularly ordered is, so let's try to check out the item or the cable mod that I've bought. So it's this one from Zero Water Cooling Store. So shout outs to you guys. So as you can see, you can mod any strand on the or any wire on the case, and you can either replicate or download or order 3 CPU, GPU, 8 pins. So any combination is possible, and there's a plethora of colors as well. So yeah, so kudos to there, guys, and you'll see the quality when we do a short unboxing of their product. Back to the theme. So now we'll do with the decals printing, as now we have designed it. Oh, nice. Yeah, I really like the threads that they used. It's plastic. It's like the cotton ones. And what's good about this is that you have custom cable comms. Oh, this will really look nice. And it's made really quality, see? Okay, this is nice, this is nice. So highly recommended. Can't wait to put these on the build. First thing that we did was we are going to resolve the issue of us removing the hard drive base for the front. So since we have removed the drive base, the 5.25-inch hard drive base, there is a hole that is gaping in the front. We will remove also the slots. We will then replace those with this screen or mesh that I have gotten from an old document holder. So this is a desk document organizer. So we're gonna measure the front of it and replace this with a proper screen or something like this to filter out the dust and to have more airflow on the case. So you need the strong scissors, or in this case this is a screen scissor, metal screen scissor, and then we have to trim it up a little bit for us to have it insert in the hole. So trimming the sides because there's some excessive metal. Also, since on the front of the case there's a little bit of gap, the screen just slides through there if it's exactly cut. So as you can see here, we are folding the edge of the screen so that we can insert it on the hole. So something like this, using the pliers. You can use chicken wire if you want, doesn't matter as long as it filters out dust and gives you proper airflow. So now it's almost in, just some gaping parts on the side, nothing we cannot fix with a little bit of bending of the metal screen. Just make sure not to scratch the paint, that's the thing here, as this was already painted. After that, we proceeded with doing the stencils. So here, as you can see, I'm cutting the proper size for the front stencil. So we're gonna be using a machine to print out the stencils. You can do an alternative way if you don't have a machine to print out, is to print out a font of what you're gonna be stenciling, or print it out and cut it manually. In this case, we have this machine to cut the stencils. So by the way, the machine that we are using here is the Cricut Joy, or I don't know, It's from the brand Cricut, so they're a cutting or customize company. They have a lot of products. Next is we're gonna put the stencil on a transfer paper. So as you can see here, we are cutting the okay, so we remove the excess vinyl so that we can prepare this for the transfer tape. So this is our initial design of the 01. So this is just a stencil, guys. So in case you're wondering why it's colored brown, this is just a stencil so that we can put this on a transfer tape and put it on our surface where we're gonna put the paint on. So we're gonna be repeating this process on the other stencils. So after we've put it on the transfer paper, we can now transfer it to the surface where we're gonna print it. So this is how we do the decals. This is the process of doing the decals. So the tricky thing here is, since this is a screen and there's really no proper surface to stick the decals or the stencil, it's not sticking. So we have to manually do this to stick this properly or to line them up properly so that we can peel off the transfer tape that is above. See? So since it's not sticking, the vinyl should have sticked on the screen surface. However, it was hard, so we have to do this together. By the way, shout outs to the bike crafters for providing us access to their machine and for having us use it for the decals. Next is we proceeded with the EVA font. So this is for the front of the case. So this is the stencil as well. So some problems here, the size wasn't coordinating properly. So here we are removing the extra vinyls. In doing this, guys, you just have to accustom yourself to some measurements like centimeters. In this case, we're doing centimeters, millimeters, inches. You need to accustom yourself with at least one metric system so that you'll be able to check the size from the machine, from the printout, and onto the surface. So again, we're doing a transfer to the transfer tape. See how it peels properly so that we can properly transfer the vinyl to the surface. Good thing about this is the cutout is extremely high quality. It cuts out really well. And yeah, transferring it to the front screen, as you can see. Same challenge here, as the screen was, or the decals weren't sticking properly. We have to properly do this to flatten the decals on the screen so that when we peel the transfer paper off, it doesn't come off with it. Seems tedious, but once you get used to it, it's quite easy and enjoyable. So as you can see here, also since our font was difficult, it wasn't that easy to pull the top transfer paper off, as the grip is after some time, after careful removal of the transfer tape, we were able to properly stick the decal on the screen. So now, so from the previous part, so as you can see, we're gonna be doing a repainting of some of the angles of the brackets for the water reservoir, and then finally do a clear coat on the front panel connector, so that it will have extra protection from scratches. And this is also a semi-glossy coat. So after that, we proceeded with painting the screens. So as you can see, same concept, do not overspray, guys. But in this case, this is a little bit forgiving, as this is a screen. So you just have to evenly paint it. Now, while we are waiting for that to dry, we'll go with the top part of the case. So after we've sticked the top decal, what we're gonna be doing is we're gonna be applying a thin amount of clear coat so that we can have the text a little bit glossy and a little bit conformed with the surface of the top cover, as you can see. So here we're gonna be putting together again the 11th gen water block that we have. So here this will look as such, so it looks really cool if you ask me. However, there's some slight discoloration on the copper, or this plate, the back plate right here, so I was thinking of not using it, or using it, whatever, if I'm gonna be using the 11th gen or an AMD Ryzen AM4 for this build. After that, we proceeded with, after the front panel plastics has been dried up, we proceeded with putting it back together, as it really looks good. The color really just pops out and was aligned with our theme. So this was my tip earlier, is to keep all the screws together, and if you can, label them using a sticky tape or a masking tape with something written on it, so that you don't get confused with putting things back together. Now let's see what happened to our stencil. Or yeah, so it was cool. So you need to do this properly in order for it to look good. So covering or masking the parts where you don't want paint to get into is a challenge in itself. Now that the feet has dried up, we're gonna be reattaching them. So we are just attaching the filter slides so that the bottom filter can still go in. Okay, yeah, so you have to clean that one first. So as you can see here, we have removed the rubber pads for the bottom, but see how it looks. It looks really nice. Now attaching the front panel connectors. Oh, I really like the colors, how it popped out of the case. Now we just removed the front stencil. See how it looks? So yeah, that's how it's gonna be. So it's like an air vent for extra air circulation. And yeah. Now this is the EVA font that we've used on the front panel mesh. So we're just gonna be putting back the rubber grommets for this one, and we're gonna do a test fit afterwards.